Hey, everybody. Today you're going to hear of an idea that allows you to start a professionally recorded podcast without leaving your home and without purchasing any equipment. You also hear the answer to the question, is Brad's face airbrushed on our podcast artwork? So welcome to our podcast, everybody. This is The Idealist. So, Jonathan, this is our first day in our new podcast studio.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We found this place. Actually, you found this place.
Yeah.
And how did you find this place again? What was the
Google?
Google?
Yeah.
We got kicked out of the other one, didn't we?
Kind of
A little bit.
Yeah. There was a parting.
There was a part.
We got kicked out. We didn't get kicked out necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know how you get kicked out of a podcast studio.
We didn't get kicked out. We just didn't. There were just complications.
There was complications. So we found this incredible spot. I love this studio.
Yeah, it's great.
Lots of fun things. Like, can I have some fun?
It's for those of you that are watching. It'll be more fun. But have your fun.
So we're able to do this on video now.
Yes,
pretty well. And you can switch views. So this is me talking. The camera's just on me now.
I know. That's crazy.
And then Jonathan, I press a button, and guess what? The camera's on you.
It's insane.
Wow. And then we can do split view.
Yeah. And we can watch it all happening too in real time.
And then we can watch it all happening. And I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if this one will stay up, but for those of you who are listening and can't see, there's a TV screen right above the table, and we were able to put hey, put your logo up. And so we put our logo up. It just seems a little self-aggrandizing. I don't know. We're having this conversation, and I turn to the right, and it's our faces.
It's easier to talk to you right there, though, than it is to talk to you right here. So,
I agree.
Isn't it strange how, though, we just sat down on the side of our faces instead of...
We did.
Yeah, we didn't plan that, think about it, talk about it at all. We just naturally did it that way.
Do you think it would look aesthetically displeasing if we were...
Yes, I do.
You think that would be a problem?
I think it would. I think it'd be kind of gross. If we were every other one, yeah.
So can we talk about this photo for a second?
Sure.
Up here? So where were you when you took this photo?
I was at a chicken cone staff party.
Chicken cone staff party.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
I was, that's a photo of me
stepping out of the dentist's office.
Look at that megawatt smile. Huh?
Yeah. I know. It's amazing.
Hey, megawatt.
Yes, I agree.
Megawatt.
I agree. A lot of lemons.
That was, my wife and I were on a date in Miami, and there's this really cool restaurant. It had this beautiful bookshelf that was well designed, and so we took photos in front of it. So that's what that's from. Are we airbrushed in this photo? Are you
Could
airbrushed?
be. I feel like it. This was at the Townley House, by the way. I shout out to that Townley House, which is a really cool bed and breakfast and bar. Yeah, I think I'm probably airbrushed a little bit.
Well, I'm definitely. Yeah. I'll just say it right now.
I think there's some wrinkles that are taken out, which.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely not what I look like.
Yeah, it is weird that I'm more attractive as a bobblehead than I am as a human being.
Oh, can we have the conversation about how the logo came to be?
Sure.
So the logo, for those of you who can't see, it's our faces, but it's bobblehead.
They can see it's on the phone too.
Oh, it's on the phone too.
Yeah.
Gosh, this is my first day doing this,
right.
So I apologize. But there was a big Jonathan and I. It was our first fight, right? We were a divided house.
Yeah.
On whether to do bobbleheads or torsos, and you were from the get-go on team bobblehead.
Yeah, it felt less. I felt like we were gonna have to be too serious and too professional if we had our torsos in it, unless they were little tiny miniature torsos that little. Yeah, things like that. So
yeah, I was originally on team Torso Town.
That's because you're very professional,
for sure. But now since we've been doing this podcast, I'm glad we're not doing torsos.
Yeah,
because it has ended up being a little bit lighter,
Correct.
And I do think torsos would have been way too serious.
Yeah,
torsos just communicate gravitas.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. I'm here, and I mean business.
Right. I have a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
You can see my shoulder, and there's a chip sitting on
there's
it.
There's a chip on it.
Absolutely.
And these say, you don't know what you're going to expect.
Right.
You don't know what's underneath this chin. So
Exactly.
well, hey, listen, great first day, enjoying this new studio. I actually have an idea about podcasting. Okay, so
Good.
I wanted to throw this idea your way, and let's take it through the idea exploder, through the categories. Here's the problem. I'll set up the problem first. The problem is, even we had to travel a little bit of a distance to get to this place.
Yep.
So this is in South Florida. This is in a place called Deerfield Beach. Okay. And you live in a different city.
Correct.
And I live in a different city. So
Correct.
but we're close together. This is probably 35, 40 minutes from my house. So I'm traveling a little bit to get here. And thankfully, so distance is one problem, right? The other problem, and we experienced this early on, which is when you're starting a podcast, you just don't know all the things.
Yeah.
I think we were like, we did the first episode. Was it in my kitchen?
Yes.
Which, if you do research, I think the kitchen might be the worst place to do a podcast. It's a very loud room. The acoustics are not exactly what you want for a podcast. But we didn't know what we were doing.
No.
So I think you Googled like what mics to get, and we got the mics. And what else did you get? You got
those screen things that you put around your face so it blocks the sound. When the foam.
But it wasn't suitable, wasn't
and then we
big
couldn't
enough.
See each other.
And I think we had cardboard boxes.
Yes.
The first day, I was like, "Ooh, I have some gift boxes."
Yeah.
And we got gift boxes and we put them on the table. It's almost like we were 12 and we were in like a fort.
Yes, it's exactly what it was like. Yeah.
Like we were having a slumber party.
Yep.
Right. And it was just ridiculous. And then we made, I think, just a ton of errors. I think we recorded like a whole episode one time and
didn't record anything.
We didn't record anything. We tried it over Zoom. That sounded awful.
That was actually the first one was in my office over Zoom.
Oh, that's right.
And it was terrible.
And we had to get like the Yeti mics.
Yeah.
And we had to sit because you had to get them in the right ports and you couldn't have enough distance. So we were like right next to each other.
Yeah.
And it was almost like when you're at a restaurant with your spouse or your beloved and you're sitting on the same, on the same side of the booth together. It's like, why,
We also had like T-shirts on the table so the mics would sit on them because they were kind of vibrating when we would talk or whatever, and it was causing there was just a lot of problems.
There was a lot of problems,
Yeah.
a lot of problems. So you've got those. So just to recap, you got those two things. Distance is an issue, and like when you're starting a podcast, you don't have all the things in your house that are suitable. Unless you know a professional or you get it professionally outfitted from a third party. Okay. And there's a lot of friction there. So the idea is real simple, and I have not seen this before. I've done a little bit of research on this, but it is a mobile podcast studio. It's a company that has mobile podcast studios in various towns where there's a market for this, and you book it and they come to your house. And you get in the mobile trailer. I can imagine we could talk about how to pull this off. Maybe it's an Airstream, but it's outfitted for the sound, for audio, for video. I mean, even the room we're in right now is a very small room.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could theoretically be doing this on wheels.
Yeah.
So real simple idea. Don't know why it doesn't exist, but thought we could at least talk about why it doesn't exist, why it shouldn't exist, or why it should exist. But that's my idea, a mobile podcast studio. I don't have a name yet for it. We can talk about names in a second, but maybe you can help me out with that.
So gut reaction.
Gut reaction. Let's go.
My gut reaction is I think I like this idea. Like it sounds like something that should exist, and it sounds like something I should be able to call up. I think as we move into, that's my gut reaction. It sounds
you
like
and I would have
it
used
should.
this.
Yes.
Right? You and I would have in a heartbeat.
And it might have been a huge mistake. That's going to lead into my buts.
Oh,
it might have
really?
been a huge mistake. But yes, for sure we would have.
Well, I'll tell you what a huge mistake was.
What's
doing that podcast.
Oh, in our yes,
in my
the
kitchen.
Yes, that was a huge mistake.
That was a huge mistake. I mean, in that moment, if you and I could be like, let's book somebody to come over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Staff.
We would have done it. Correct. Yeah.
we would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we spent good money,
And maybe-
trying to outfit that kitchen.
Yeah.
And it was
It would have never worked.
laborious. It would have never worked.
Yeah. I also think I could even see not just podcasting and things like that, but also like if I always go back to my daughter, but if Hannah wanted to, we should have made a little layer for her Spotify thing so you could throw up her Spotify thing on the
promote
video. Yeah.
Promote her Spotify because she's a musician.
She's a musician, yeah.
Okay.
So, but if Hannah Almanzar...
Hold on. We're going to do this.
Okay.
We're going to do this. How do people find Hannah on Spotify so they can listen?
They can go to Hannah Almanzar on Spotify and listen to her different songs. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I know you would have done the same for me.
Yeah, no, I would have. Yes, you're correct. Yeah, so Hannah Almanzar, she's got some really great songs on there. But even like her, that somebody could pull up with a studio in front of her apartment. She could run downstairs and record her vocals that she's sending off, or a little. And I think that it could work for more than just podcasts, is what I'm saying. That's my other gut reaction.
So more than just podcasts. So audio for music.
Yeah. Kids, the band that plays our intro.
Yeah.
Josh Diaz, maybe he needs to record something and he doesn't want to have to drive all the way to the studio. They could pull up to his house. He could jump in there, record on his little steel guitar or whatever that weird instrument is that I've seen him play. And
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. And so he could play
You're
that
a musician,
thing.
though.
Yeah, but I don't play every instrument. Like, I don't play that thing.
Okay. So it's pretty obscure.
Yeah.
So you like this idea, gut reaction. I like my gut reaction is like, why doesn't this exist? Why didn't we have this? Why couldn't we press a button and, whether it's, we could talk about lead time, but whether it's, even if it's a day, takes a day to book it in advance, we would have done that.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. So let's go through some buts. What are some problems with this idea, some potential problems, or some things that we're concerned about?
So I think in my mind, the buts are less on the consumer side and more on the business itself side. Like, could this possibly make money? Like if they outfit a whole trailer, how much are they going to have to charge? How often is it going to be booked? Where do they have to drive it to? All of that kind of stuff. Like the whole side of the logistics portion of it could be a little bit of a pain and complicated, I think.
So you think there might not be enough margin there?
Yeah, I wonder.
You wonder, and your concern is related to just the upfront costs. So let's think about this. You got to get the what's an Airstream cost these days?
I mean, I would think like if you and I were just starting this business, we would find a cheap, maybe not even an Airstream, but some sort of cheap mobile home. We could probably get one for $10,000 to $15,000, I would think.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here.
So when we lived in Colorado and we were super poor, I bought a camper for $500 that you pull behind our car. We had like a Buick Rendezvous or something like that, and you could pull it behind that. And we bought it for $500, and then Shannon and I went in and ripped everything out of it and rebuilt it, like put in insulation and all that kind of stuff. And we spent probably another $700 on it. So we had $1,200 total into this camper, and we camped every weekend. So I could even see one that size, like a tiny one. It doesn't need to be as big as an Airstream. It could be a really small one.
Yeah.
But you'd buy it, we'd tear everything out, refit it completely, like, because you'd have to soundproof everything because those campers are not soundproof.
Correct.
You'd have to soundproof everything and get it set up. So maybe you could get into it for less than $10,000.
Yeah, because you don't need a camper or an Airstream that's already outfitted. Like the whole point is you actually want something that's not customized and outfitted to the nines. You actually want something that you can just go, I'm going to tear this down. I'm going to put this type of what they call it, the curtains or the
soundproof curtains,
soundproof
sound
walls,
dampening, all that kind of stuff.
So you actually want something that's a fixer upper.
Yeah.
You're not looking for a premium product there. So
I'm coming around on this idea a lot as we're talking about it, because I'm picturing even getting one of those Scouts or Scamps or whatever they're called, the little tiny, they almost look like an egg. You could get one of those. What
is this thing called that I'm looking at right here? I'm going to show you. What is that? It almost looks like a food truck.
It's a mini Airstream.
That's a mini Airstream? Okay, I was just showing Jonathan what I saw in there, a mini Airstream. But yeah, there's there's, I think, lots of different options. It doesn't have to be large.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can get into this for $10,000 for the automobile, and then you've got the equipment, let's say that's what, for really great equipment? I don't know, let's guess.
Like
$3,000?
The setup they have in here.
$3, $4, $5,000?
The setup they have in here, that's probably a $600 mixing board.
Yeah.
These microphones are probably
$200 each?
Yeah, let's say they're $200 each. So you have 4 of those. This thing, I have no idea how much this is, but let's say.
Wait, hold on. What thing? You mean this thing?
Yes,
that thing. This thing
Yeah.
that I'm pressing all the buttons on right now?
Yeah. So let's say that's 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at 2,400 cameras. Yeah, so probably I say you could be in for less than $6,000 for everything you need.
Okay, so you're looking at like on the low end, maybe like $15,000 for this business to get started. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad.
That's not bad. And then, okay, what are you charging? What are we charging?
$150 an hour, I would think.
I would think so. Now, keep in mind, in a typical studio, you have to get there 30 minutes early.
Yeah.
To start plugging everything in. You're setting everything up. Whereas in a mobile studio, the nice thing is you got a producer.
Yeah.
Right there. So instead of me having to push all these buttons, I'm not going to do it again, but you would have somebody else there who could run point. That's a nice feature too, is you have the producer has a reason to be on site. He would be there anyways, dropping off the trailer. Now the Airstream. Now you're getting a built-in producer with your podcast. We haven't talked about that. That's a benefit.
Yeah. So maybe, you might, or you might do it by the day. You might just say, like if it's, let's take Hannah or Josh Diaz, and they're like, I'm going to have this thing dropped off in my front yard, and I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to spend all day just recording. Yeah. I'm just going to record all my songs, get it in there. So they rent the thing for $800 for the day. Yeah. And they have it for the whole day, and then the guy drops it off and then comes back and picks it up later.
Yeah.
Now you'd have to have access to electricity, because you couldn't run it off a generator, because that's going to be too loud. Even if it's one of the Honda Whisper generators, it's still going to be too loud. So it's going to have to be plugged in to a home. So you're going to have electricity. So I guess that would be a but. Maybe
that's a good That's a good that could be a challenge.
I don't think you need to have a bathroom in it, because they can use the bathroom in their home.
Exactly.
It would be pretty amazing if you were like, if you wanted to do some sort of wilderness thing and you just pulled it behind you and then parked it out in the middle of nowhere and just recorded like a.
Could you put
in it?
Yeah, I mean, could you put the generator far away?
I don't think so.
You couldn't put it far away.
When we first started Chicken Cone, I dealt with generators so much that I don't think.
Why can't you put the generator far away so you don't hear it? Do an extension cord from it.
You could, but I still they're so loud, Brad. They're so, even the quiet ones are still so loud.
Okay. Here's a but air conditioning. You got to keep the thing on the whole time, right? Is it going to be loud if it's on?
Ooh, that is a good but. I don't know. You could probably get there's air conditioning blowing in this room right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a.
But a car turned on.
Yes,
has a sound. Now, there are certain cars where you turn them on and it's like it sounds. Yeah.
The climate control is going to be a little bit of a problem.
Climate control is an issue. The sound of it just being on.
Yeah. Is
an issue. Mm-hmm. Is that surmountable though? Do you think that's?
I would say it is surmountable, not insurmountable.
Okay. So you just somebody's got to think through the best way to outfit.
Yes.
Customize it with whether it's the curtains or the soundproof.
We even built a
walls.
box. We built this box that we killed 2 generators in, but we made this box with soundboards and everything and a vent, and we stuck our generator in there to try to quiet
Jonathan,
it.
Jonathan, I feel like
it still didn't work.
I feel like you're poised to do this.
I'm thinking that too, as we're talking about it.
You got it, man.
Even if you spent $15,000, if you're using it too,
yeah,
you're renting it. Say you're renting it from yourself as well. I feel like it would pay for itself in 6 months. I think you could do $2,000 a month in business in it.
A month?
Yeah,
I would hope so.
Yeah, so you could pay for it. It could pay for itself in 6 months.
Man, I think this is a winner.
It could be.
Now, is it the kind of thing We're getting a little bit into financial model. We've talked about it already, but let's keep going there. Is this scalable? Is this something? Is this something that is branded? In every city, every major city, there's this company that can do this thing, and they know which airstreams to get. They know which how to outfit them. They know how to train the producer / driver.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is this something you would see?
I think it's like inflatables, like the inflatable games, like when you rent, an inflatable bounce house and all those different kinds of things. So you have a central company that's building these and selling them, and then maybe they're marketing it a little bit online where people can go in and book time online. And so then they have people who buy into the business, not quite a franchise, but similar to it. And they're paying for the marketing and being on the website, $75 a month, $100 a month, so they can be on your website and you can
like
send
that.
them out. And so they purchase it from you, and then they pay you to be on their website.
Is this a franchise
No.
play? It's not, and
No.
why?
Franchising just because there's very little training that needs to happen.
Not a lot of value there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of value for it to be a franchise. I think they purchase. Our company builds them. They purchase them from our company, and then they pay to be on our website so people can find them and book. And maybe you have an app that they pay a subscription fee to be a part of that app.
Who's the profile for the entrepreneur? Who do you think they are? Is it a music producer? Is that who it is?
It could be,
just
but
in their off
I
time,
think-
they're driving down.
I
to
think this
somebody's
is more
house?
like a school teacher that can wants to have a little side gig and can make a little extra money, and it's not a demanding side gig.
Yeah.
It's the inflatables that you drop off somewhere. You remember Rug Doctor? Do you remember?
No, this
it was
is
a
another
steam,
reference.
This
of
is a
yours I don't
steam
know.
cleaner. It's a steam
No.
cleaning thing. Well, you don't
There's
have
only-
carpets.
Listen, there's only one carpet cleaner, Stanley Steamer.
Okay. So same thing, Stanley Steamer, Rug Doctor. Rug Doctor would sit at like grocery stores, and you could go in and rent them.
Yeah.
But there was somebody that had a territory, and so they would buy all the
okay.
Rug Doctors. They would drop them off there. They would make sure they were refilled, repaired. But that person had a full-time job as well, and they were making another $1,500 a month on the side with their Rug Doctors business. And this would be the same kind of thing. You'd have a full-time job, but you'd be dropping this off, and you'd be making an extra $1,500, $2,000 a month.
Yeah. Is there any way to make more money than that?
Oh, I'm
on
sure
this?
you could. I'm
Yeah?
sure you could. I'm just saying, like, if you just wanted to do it part time, like a
Yeah.
side gig, I think you could make more. But also, if you're recording yourself, and you're making
a
that
good
money, so
idea.
then you have it for yourself, and then you're also making additional money.
Yeah, that's why I was going in the direction of like a music producer, or obviously a podcast duo.
Yeah,
Maybe this
podcast
is
duo.
something
Yeah.
we need to think about, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, my neighbor has, or 2 houses down, has a beautiful Airstream in their driveway. I'm always like, what? They never use it. They never take it out. Maybe
Yeah.
we should go knock on the door, Jonathan,
And
and
be like, hey, can we tear that thing
can
apart?
we tear that thing apart? We've got an idea. I think it's a good idea. So, let's see. We haven't done yet.
Name it.
We haven't named it yet. Do you have anything in
I've
mind?
got a bunch of them.
You do? All right, hit me.
Instead of audio, Audigo.
Ooh, AUDIGO.
Yes.
Gosh, that's good.
Recordable instead of recordable, but recordable.
Okay.
I don't think that's a good one. but
Okay.
What about
Okay.
this one? Carcophony. Like a cacophony of sound, but this is
Yes.
a carcophony.
Yeah, I think that one gave me joy when I heard it.
Yeah.
That's my first time hearing it,
Okay.
and I really like it.
How about the Autopod by Idealist?
The Autopod.
Or the Idealist Autopod.
Yes. The ideal. That's what we would call it.
That's what we call it.
If we knocked
if
on my
started
neighbor's
this,
door.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to start this business. It's the Idealist Autopod. We're going to sell Autopods by the Idealist.
Yeah,
And then we could see our faces everywhere. We could see them running around town all over the place.
I like it. Oh man, I don't like that, but I don't like that part of it.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to see my airbrushed mug
Yeah.
on anything these days. Those are great names. So, what's your favorite of those names? What do you like?
I like Autopod a lot because I think it's simple and scalable. I like Carcophony because I think that's those two would be my 2 favorite. Audigo, I feel like that's probably already been used for something, Like a GoPro camera
What
probably
if-
has audio.
What if you called it the? Can we do horrible names?
Sure.
For it, horrible names. Auto potty shop.
Potty shop?
Yeah, PODDY.
Oh, potty. Okay,
Like
that's
pod.
funny. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Auto
it's not
potty.
bad.
Yeah, auto potty. Well, that's good.
Not POTTY.
Yeah, no, that's what I was
but
thinking
pod.
at first. But yeah, no,
that's what
that's
you do
good.
Your podcast.
Autobot.
That one took me a little bit.
No, that was good though.
It takes me. Listen, it takes me a little while to think of a horrible name.
Yeah.
Do you have any like, just any really bad names? I love coming up with bad names.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think yours were good.
Winnebago, something with Winnebago could probably be terrible.
Yeah.
Or trailer.
Yeah.
Trailers for trailers.
So this was good. Do we have any other categories we need to go through? We did financial model. We did names. We did yaputs. We did gut reaction.
Mhm.
Are we ready to rate this thing?
Let's rate it.
Let's rate it. Okay. I don't know if I have a good rating scale yet on this one. Do you have one? Let me think. Let me do on a scale of this studio we're in right
Okay.
now, which is outfitted with all the finer things.
Everything, yes.
And we got lights down. Look at these lights.
Yeah.
We got lights up there.
Got these lights.
Yeah, they even gave us a light. What was that for? To get rid of like our neck fat,
Shin shadows.
chin shadows.
Yeah.
So do I look?
Thinner.
I look thinner.
On TV than you look in real
Oh,
life.
I'm gonna look right now. Gosh, I do look thinner.
Yeah. We have a lounge.
We have a lounge.
Yeah.
There's water. Actually, there's not just water. There's two sizes. There's like the 4-ounce little tiny bottles, and then they got the 16-ounce bottles. There's Coke in there, Coca-Cola Classic. If
Yeah,
you
there's
want that.
Coca-Cola. There's
Coke-
not Coke. There's
There's
Coca-Cola.
Coke. That would be a different type of studio. So this is so on the scale of that on one end to what would be the worst place to do a podcast? To your bathroom. You got your bathroom. That's all you got. You got
Yeah.
the toilet. You got the sink. You got the shower. That's your podcast studio. You're gonna buy some stuff on Craigslist,
And you're doing it over Zoom.
and you're doing it over Zoom, and
Are
it's
you in
video.
A bathroom? Are you in a bathroom right now?
Yes.
No, not at all.
Yes. So on a scale of podcast in your bathroom to podcast in this fine studio we're in right now,
Yeah.
where do you rate this?
I would put it in this studio if this studio belonged to me.
Oh, okay. Explain that.
I think it's a really good idea, and I kind of want to do it.
Oh, wow. Guys, Jonathan is chomping at the bit a little bit here.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. So, well, I'm interested too. We should keep talking about this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Auto potty shop. Is that what we
Auto
call
potty. The auto potty.
it? That's what we landed on, right? That's what
Sure.
we-
By Idealist.
By Idealist. Well, good stuff, Jonathan. This was a fun episode.
Cool.
Thanks for listening to this episode. We'd love it if you would like, rate, subscribe, and share this podcast with others. Know we've got a growing list of ideas, so we'll be back next time to share more with you. If you have an idea you'd like to share, head over to idealistpodcast.com and record your pitch right there on our site. We just may share it and pick it apart on an upcoming episode. So until next time, thanks again for joining The Idealist.